does not agree with me. We have had literally hundreds of calls from you people from British Columbia to Newfoundland all the way up to the Yukon wanting to see the beginning of this fight. Now, we're not glorifying fighting. We're not going to play the entire brawl. But journalistically, I think it is right to go back and take a look at where it appeared that this fight started. If we can roll that videotape. Well, Don Cherry, let's have one more look at the incident which happened about 45 minutes ago.
I don't know where you say appeared, Brian. I don't know where you get that. Look, we've cleaned the ice and everything, but we're going. Now watch, they're going in the corner here, and while they get it rolling, I'm just saying, Canadian kids will not take what comes up. We've been brought up not with a slap in the face and a punch in the nose. We do not take stuff like this. Now what? He didn't do anything. He just went to the guy, watch him get up and punch him with a nice left right to the thing. Now who started the fight? Now what are you supposed to do? Right. Since we're 3 or 4 years old, we do not take punches in the mouth like that.
All right, calm down. Let's keep the
And by the way, wait a minute, keep the, yeah, okay, we're going to see it again. And by the way, when we went off this here the last time, I told you Gunnar Schmunner would give us, and we'd come out in the short end. Did I not say that? Everybody was talking, the game was going.
Not a matter of coming out in the short end. Both teams should be thrown out of the
I'm not talking about that. Whose fault is it? I'm getting here black mark because, you know, Canada will get blamed for this. Canada will get blamed for it. The Russians won't get blamed. Do you know that? It's coming up here.
There's no question that both teams should be blamed for this incident, regardless of who started it, Don. There's no justifying.
I'm going to shock people out there. I'm going to shock people out there, and I'm going to say it because I want to say it. They asked me on here, I'm going to say it. If I had been coaching there, and Bert's going to take a lot of heat from this, Bert Templeton's going to take a lot of heat. He never had them under control. I will say this. If he hadn't sent his players over there when 19 Russians were out there, then he wouldn't have been a man. Now, he's going to feel bad. He lost the medal and the whole thing like that. But I'd like to ask him, when we're having a pop in a week, if he would have felt better keeping his team on the bench and watching the Russians beat up the 5. No way. So we didn't get the medal, but at least we stood up for it.
Both teams have been disqualified, and that is as it should be, a disgraceful incident. There's no justifying it. I don't care who went over the boards first. It appears the Soviets did. I'm not blaming the Canadians. Both teams are wrong. Both teams have been disqualified, and they should be disqualified. We talk about the feelings of these young men. These young men had better learn, and learn quickly. You don't go through life conducting Pier 4 brawls. Stay with us. Sports Weekend will continue right after this.
Union, Sherry Bassin is always one of emotion, always one of great skill by both teams. Canada had its work cut out. They had to win by 5 goals because of the goal differential factor to claim the gold medal, but they had jumped into that 3-1 lead. They had a 4-2 lead when play was halted. They were assured, if they won, of a silver medal. If they lost, they would still get the bronze. But it looked as though they really had a shot at that gold medal. Now they go home with nothing. The Soviets, absolutely nothing to lose. They were in 6th place in this tournament, their worst performance ever. They come out of it laughing.
No question. The point is, and it's really been sewed up here very simply, the gold medal was within reach for Canada. The silver medal was in their hand. The bronze medal was locked up, okay? The Russians they were going home in trouble anyway. They were going to analyze their program. Tarasov had already criticized the coach already publicly. That's what is reported. You know, he'd 12 minutes in bench penalties. He'd given other referees trouble and so forth. There was no question that their whole program was being studied and was going to be reorganized. So they had absolutely nothing to lose. The Canadian program, when you think of that, not only the emotion of the kids, but the pride of the country, the whole issue about coming in here, because we're convinced now that when we send a team over here, we can compete with Russia's best. You give us the opportunity to prepare. You give us that opportunity to compete. You give us the opportunity to bring our best players, and we can play the best in your backyard, in our backyard, under anybody's rules. The simple fact is now that with all that scenario set, with medal guaranteed in their pocket, and all those others, they go home like the Russians were going home in the back of the truck. And what are you talking about? They were going home. Now they got to go home without anything. That's really got to be a personal loss to the team, a personal loss to the directors of the whole program, a personal loss to the coaching staff, a personal loss to the country, but more so those young kids that have given their heart to wear that sweater, to listen to that song played, a personal loss to those kids personally, and that's tough to handle.
Sherry, you and I talked during the game against Czechoslovakia and also during this game about the importance of discipline in international hockey, the preparation both on and off the ice. You know the consequences of getting involved in an altercation. Canada had already paid the penalty with Chazon being ejected along with Hartman of the United States for that brawl in the game there. So you know that once you drop those gloves and start fighting, you're gone. So I think there is some responsibility on the coaches to make darn good and sure that those players don't get involved.
Yes, there's as much preparation off the ice as there is on.
We'll return with more from Piestany, but first, let's pause for this message. Looking at the hallway outside the Canadian dressing room, and